People need to see that the law has an impact.
3 Palestinian rights groups have filed a communication with the International Criminal Court, urging the prosecutor establish an office for Palestine and investigate Israel for both apartheid and genocide.
And this law, this justice, must be focused on the most vulnerable. It should be almost tangible. It is something they should be able to cling on to. It is something that they should be able to embrace when they are faced with so much loss, pain and suffering.
The communication presented by Al-Haq Al-Missan and the Palestinian Center for Human Rights also calls on the ICC to issue arrest warrants for Israeli officials, including President Isaac Herzog, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant.
These are war criminals whose most appropriate place is not in any government, is behind bars in an international criminal court cell here in The Hague.
This comes against the backdrop of ongoing Israeli airstrikes on densely populated civilian areas in the besieged Gaza Strip, which have in 1 month claimed the lives of over 11,000 Palestinians, nearly half of them children.
The Israeli army's alleged crimes described in our communication include also the siege imposed on the Gaza Strip, the forced transfer of the population to the southern part of the Gaza Strip, and the dehumanizing genocidal statements made by Israeli officials as part of the long-term oppression of the Palestinian people by successive Israeli governments.
Israel has dropped more than 25,000 tons of explosives on Gaza since 7th of October. That is more than twice the Hiroshima bomb. Human Rights Watch has documented and confirmed the use of white phosphorus bombs. Israel has refused a ceasefire, but agreed on 9th of November to pauses of 4 hours a day.
If you are saying to the population, okay, we'll give you a head start, take 4 hours before we come back and start killing again, that's not something that is to be praised as a humanitarian act. That's a crime for which there has to be accountability.
In 2021, the ICC's Office of the Prosecutor initiated an ongoing official investigation into the situation in Palestine, acknowledging the commission of war crimes by both Palestinian and Israeli actors. However, the ICC has faced criticism for what some deem a tepid response to ongoing Israeli attacks in Gaza.
International institutions need to act. And instead, we're seeing a stalemate, and we're seeing international leaders led by the United States, as well as the UK, as well as France, who are basically providing a green light to Israel to commit genocide, to commit these atrocities. This is not out of nowhere. Everything started before October 7th, and this is a moment where Israel has not been held to account. It is a systematic failure to hold Israel to account for decades. International organizations have said that Israel is practicing the crime against humanity of apartheid.
We are at a stage where we passed the threshold where we say that these governments are complicit in Israeli crimes. They're effectively taking part in these crimes. They're contributing to the commission of these crimes. These states are sending weapons and providing diplomatic coverage to Israel to commit these crimes.
The Palestinian Authority joined the ICC in 2015. Israel never did. As a non-member, Israel has consistently declined the ICC's jurisdiction and has refused any formal engagement with it, leaving many to see Israel as acting above international law despite the occupied Palestinian territories falling within the mandate of the ICC.
If Israelis don't want to be held accountable before the court, they shouldn't commit crimes in the occupied Palestinian territory. In fact, they should end their occupation and leave the occupied Palestinian territory.
Opposed by both the US and the UK, the ICC's 2021 inquiry continues to face challenges aimed at ongoing atrocities and allegations of war crimes committed in the occupied Palestinian territories. The rights groups hope the latest Article 15 communication will support the court and provide basis for evidence of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and serious allegations of genocide with the aim of holding Israel accountable for its ongoing actions in Gaza.